Right, hello. So I'm sure lots of you know we sort of talked about it a little bit during yesterday's stream, but yesterday's one was mostly meant to be the Halloween one. But the UK is having another national lockdown. I think as of Thursday it comes into force for 1 month at least, but it will probably drag on longer. So the idea is that we have a lockdown now, so Christmas is as close to normal as possible. But in all honesty, it probably will drag on for even longer than that. So it's as of Thursday until the 2nd of December. So I believe the dates are meant to be the 5th of November to the 2nd of December. There will be a 1 month long UK national lockdown of all basically shops that don't sell essential goods and everything like that. Whether or not it will do much to help, I don't know, because part of the problem is obviously a lot of people don't follow the lockdown rules as it is. But hello, evening, Shelf. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But, you know, for me, it's not really too much of a problem. But I know for some people, it's going to be an absolute pain in the ass. But, you know, we will see. I've got that giant Swiss helmet on again. Right, Al Ryan? Hello to everybody else just joining. Yeah, the thing is, though, Radioactive Cow, I don't know, like on the new lockdown thing, they don't want schools to close, do they? But I guess a lot of schools might end up being closed anyway. No, not American at all, Joshua. It's a Swiss helmet from the 1970s. So this is the Swiss M71 Stahlhelm. Kind of has a couple of design features of the old Stahlhelms, but like no real kind of flair to it. So it's a fairly good quality steel helmet. You know, it sticks out a bit at the sides, but it gives pretty good head coverage. So is it going to be the 5G mask, do you reckon, Nerd Central, or do you reckon it'll be something new this time? Just wear a mask, Alex Saint, and follow basic hygiene rules. Wear a proper respirator. Yeah, it's an alright helmet, Nemesis. The only issue with these is that the liner they come with is really uncomfortable. So I had to follow people's advice and take the pads out of here, because each of these like leather bits has like a space for a pad, which is meant to make it more comfortable. But I found with the pads in it was just really uncomfortably tight on my head. So with the pads removed, you know, it's more of a proper liner in the sense that, you know, it's just more comfortable. Yeah, good biscuits if that works. But again, the UK was doing like different, or England was doing different tiers of lockdowns, and then they've just abandoned that now because the system wasn't, you know, working fast enough to curb the cases. Oh, Diak one, I assume, Alex Saint. But yeah, it means I think for like 1 month now, I'm not going to be in work again because, again, when I'm working, it's not considered essential work. Good Unknown Russian, thank you. Again, part of it's going to depend on when one comes up for sale when I've got the money together. Because they're the sort of things where sometimes a few can pop up for sale per year, and sometimes you can go ages without seeing one. My favourite helmets in terms of practicality is the modern British one, like the Virtus helmet, whatever it's called. Are you sure it's an actual MP5 and not a French ARFA? I've said a few times the Swiss M71 helmet, the one that replaced the old massive Swiss M18 style helm. 4 Rontgen per hour, Jesus Christ. I reckon they will, Jamie, just because I reckon by the 2nd of December the rates won't be low enough. If they don't just do it for December, I reckon what they'll do is they'll just do it as soon as the new year starts again. You know, like, so Christmas might be normal, and then on the 1st of January or 2nd of January or something, lockdown will come in again. Well, the fact that they're prepared for war, even if, you know, that's why nobody invades Switzerland, because you wouldn't want to. I don't know. I reckon at least a couple of weeks if they do close schools, but yeah, exactly, Flazzy. This is the problem, isn't it? That December is when most retail stores make the majority of their earnings. I remember when I used to work at Argos, I reckon we had like 40-50% of all the year's taking just in December alone. Fully loosen the straps, Hayden, put it on and tighten it. It depends on the quality of the masks. If you mean why do some people sell GP5s for a lot of money? Because they just want to get a lot of money for them. They're not worth a lot of money. But, that's the reason. But yeah, if you have got like rubbery stuff that's yellow, there's not much you can do. At the moment, LX Saint, I would say no, because gyms and everything else are closed. It might depend if they're outdoor or indoor setting ones, but nearly all indoor sort of sports are closed now, or as of Thursday. But yeah, I reckon nearly everything's going to be pretty much closed down. That's pretty cool, Gothic Studio. But yeah, so as I said, I've not got much on. I'll be getting a lot of YouTube videos done in the next month because, as I said, I've basically been told as of today, you're not coming into work again for ages. And again, like a lot of people, will I have a job when when the furlough ends again? Because when the first, furlough lockdown ended, half the people I work with, lost their jobs. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Ross. Unless they find some other way, Nerd Central, of making us listen to it. Depends. About Blue Hernandez, I don't shoot either because I'm in the UK. It depends on the price of them, doesn't it? Like the K98 is meant to be a better rifle, but if you can get a Mosin Nagant cheap, it's a cheap rifle. Thank you very much, Renarian. Hopefully you'll enjoy being on the thing. I'll probably do a members stream at some point tomorrow. As in like 7.5 Soviet, or whatever it's called, 7.62 Soviet, whatever the round is, the Mosin Nagant use, yeah. That would be probably more mass produced, wouldn't it, than what's the German World War II one? 7.5 something, is it? I don't actually know, because I know British is 303. And the US was 30-06, but I don't actually know what like a lot of the other European things were. 7.62 by 54 rimmed, yeah, is more common than 7.92 by 57. Okay, that's the name of the two cartridges. And Swiss is 7.5 by 55, isn't it? That's the Schmidt-Rubin round, 7.5 by 55. It's the same reason, isn't it, that the Sturmgewehr 44 round is 7.92, but then a much shorter cartridge, because it was basically the same rifle round on the shorter cartridge case. Yeah, you see, if it was that price, I would go for the Nagant and get more cheap ammo for it, so you can actually enjoy using it more. As much as the K98 is probably a better rifle. How much are British Lee Enfields over there? Because if you can get a Lee Enfield for somewhere in the middle price range between a Nagant and a K98, I'd probably go for an Enfield personally. Nope, I do not have OK9, any kind of panzery things like that, like shells or whatever. eBay, Joshua, back when masks were available on eBay for sensible prices. Yeah, so if a Lee Enfield is $400 to $500, I'd definitely go for that over like a $600 to $800 K98, but that would just be me. The really cool Enfield is it the L42 rifle, the one that was 7.62 NATO, that was quite tuned, because it was essentially Britain's sniper rifle for a while. from like the 50s to like the 70s or something. The one that the Arctic Warfare Magnum or Arctic Warfare Police, whatever one you want to call it, the international accuracy international rifle replaced. That one. I'm pretty sure it's the L-42 rifle. Which one's a bullpup, Renarian? The old British ones weren't bullpup. They were like Britain's modern things, as in like the L85 assault rifles and all that, are bullpup. But back in the period of when it was the Lee Enfield bolt actions and like the FAL, the L1A1 SLR as the service rifle, they were just standard mag in front of the trigger designs. I'm pretty sure, Caleb, pretty much all the UK is having a lockdown, but it's different. Like Scotland, is Scotland having a lockdown? Well, I know Wales is having a lockdown. I know Northern Ireland's having a lockdown, but they're slightly different, like, criteria. Yeah, I have a Martini Henry. There's videos on it. Are they the shotgun ones, Lewis? Because there's my favourite, like, weird shotgun is the Soviet KS-23, which is where they got shilka barrels that couldn't handle the pressure of anti-aircraft rounds, and they turned them into giant shotguns. Oh, so you in like last week of it, Renarian? Because I remember like when it was announced the firebreak thing for Wales. But yeah, here's the problem, because Boris delayed doing a lockdown here in England for so long. We're now going to have a longer one because the cases have got higher. Which is the problem with COVID. It goes up very quickly, but it's quite slow to bring down. So if he'd have done a lockdown when everybody else was being advised to do it, we'd probably be coming out of a lockdown the same time you are. But no, now all of November is going to be a lockdown because, we don't need a lockdown. And then guess what happened? All right, Peach. What is that? Glasgow and Edinburgh, speaking of Truth Media, that are under like close to lockdown then. At the moment, Jake, I'm drinking this and I like it. But it really depends because I drink quite a lot of different things. Let me look up that one then. Gopnik Studio. Can't obviously buy one right now, but let me have a look at it. Oh, I have technically the same Geiger counter as that, but the earlier variant of it. It's actually visible in the background there, look. See on the side of the MD3 meter, that like grey one, that's the earlier generation of that one. Tell you what, the most depressing fucking thing yesterday was that Sean Connery died. That really annoyed me. I mean, I know he was 90 in that, but still. Like, Sean Connery, fucking excellent Bond. Oh, thank you for threatening me, Megatron LV. I'm sure you're a very, very big man for doing it. I'm sure you're not doing that because you're a fucking loser or anything. But thank you for that, because I did see some people had tagged me in that before. Which I'm I'm sure you're doing it because you're a big man. But I'm just saying, if you say you want to do something illegal online, you're a pretty fucking big idiot. Timothy Dalton, glow in the dark, but Sean Connery would be my second favourite Bond. The Soviet GP5 ones, as in the Shum 62, they could either have a hose or they could have the filter attached directly to the mask. We won't bring up politics on this stream just because it gets very, very toxic. Yeah, well, it's up to him if he wanted to be pro-independence or not. But I like Sean Connery; he's a good actor. I hope Trump wins. That's as political as I'll get this stream, not Biden. But I've been missing all the fun that's been going on in the chat, evidently. Oh, exactly, Raging Krogan, but that doesn't stop them, does it? Vostok Amphibia as usual, just because I really like Vostok Amphibias. Yeah, I didn't watch all of the Halloween video. I watched quite a bit of it, but then I went to bed. Why did Military Madness's comment get hidden? That was a proper question. No, I do not have an M1 Garand. I've got an M1 Carbine, and as always, because it's a YouTube stream, I can't show a gun. Well, I don't really have a filter collection, as in I've got lots and lots of filters for masks, but I don't really collect them. What are my plans during lockdown? Speaking the truth, I'll probably just do a lot of YouTube content, because technically I can't do much else, can I? I'll do a bit more weightlifting and stuff like that, but in all honesty, during lockdown, there's pretty much fuck all I can do Sadly, Puffin Guy, I don't think I have got any Norwegian helmets. Oh, look at my fucking hair now. I've had that on. Fuck's sake. I've never owned a Yugoslav Geiger counter. I heard they are alright, like the Czech ones, but I've never actually owned one. The Climax is a fine gas mask, but with a name like Climax, you'd think they'd make sex toys, wouldn't you? Not gas masks, but yeah. I need to move this, though, somewhere where I'm not going to actually stub my toe on it, because that's literally right under my chair at the moment, which is not somewhere I want it, because it will be a stub toe accident waiting to happen. Oh, Mike, your icon's got another colour now, so you've got your 2-month thing. That's cool. A Spanish company, apparently, Lewis. Oh, and Lewis, you're blue as well now. All right, dear love. No, I think the Helly Hansen is the only Norwegian bit of surplus I've got, if I remember right. It's possible I might have 1 or 2 other Norwegian things, but not that I can think of off the top of my head. Well, Luke, there's going to be another lockdown starting in the UK or England as of Thursday. That's going to last a month. But whether or not it, goes on for longer, I imagine it will. Normally, I stream a lot 8 p.m. In all honesty. Subscriber icons, not subscribers, supporter icons, John. Whatever you want to call them, channel members. Yeah, Lewis, I reckon that the R rate will drop ever so slightly over the course of a month. Testing will still not work properly, and then we'll be back where we started going into December. I can do one tomorrow if you want, Nerd Central. Which particular Geiger counter got next studio? If you mean that one there, it's not got batteries in it at the moment, but I've done videos on it. Oh, I'm surprised that guy hasn't come back with another account yet saying I'm going to raid you. I'm a bit disappointed now. But yeah, I saw I was tagged in a couple of things earlier, people saying, oh, we're going to raid you. And I thought, big man. A big guy. I reckon, Daniel, if they do stop the lockdown before Christmas, they'll just kick it back in January then. Yeah, exactly, Nerd Central. That's generally a theme, isn't it? The Swiss M71 helmet. Because I don't think they've got much sense, Flazzy, in all honesty. The MM1, it's not really the corner, but yeah, that's still there. Oh, you've missed some people threatening me, bots, or one person with multiple accounts, although he's only made one for this stream, but I was tagged by 2 different people or 2 different accounts earlier on Instagram saying we're going to raid you and call the police on you. Oh, thank you, Dilolneonator. Let me search it, because I actually really don't know off the top of my head. It sounds like something Soviet. Oh, is that the helicopter? I really don't actually know much about that one. Is that the, what's the one that they call, like, the Black Shark? Is it that one, or is that a different one? But I really don't know actually anything about this one. The Killer Whale is apparently the name of it. No, I really don't know much about this one at all. Because I'm pretty familiar with, like, the Soviet stuff up until, like, you know, the Hind, Terminators, or the HIP, whatever they were called, the transport helicopters, and, like, you know, the giant one. That was the Mi-26, wasn't it? Like the massive giant cargo moving one. And they also, was it the Mi-28, which was kind of like the Soviet copy of the Apache? I'm pretty familiar with all those, but I'm actually kind of not on any of the more modern Russian ones. Oh, that's the Ka-50. So I assume the Ka-60 is a lot more modern than the Ka-50, is it? It's probably really cool. I don't, in all honesty, I don't really know much about it. Right, bots, I will pretend I know what you're on about, but I don't. I know Undertale's a game, isn't it? I know Mega Man's a game. I bought it on eBay when it was available on eBay, so that's the boring answer. The Osprey's the one where it can do vertical, isn't it, and forward? Because the Osprey, I've got a video of Ospreys flying over my house when Trump came over, when he went to Blenheim Palace. Yeah, vertical takeoff and landing. But yeah, they flew Ospreys. Although it wasn't like Marine One or whatever they called it, the helicopter he was on, they had a load of like Ospreys escorting it. I'll be doing a member stream tomorrow, as I already said. The stream today will be 10 more minutes to 30 more minutes, because I was doing a sort of 30-minute to an hour one. Which one can you get for a better amount of money, General Carl? And that you like the look of more, because that's literally going to be my answer. Right, cheers, Lucas. It's sad, though, isn't it, that the Vulcan's no longer flying? Because we were on about the Vulcan on a stream or two ago. Oh, there's 121 people on the stream. Right, for anybody that's joining the stream that doesn't know about it yet, I'll just repeat it. Britain is, from Thursday, is doing a month-long lockdown to try and get corona cases down by Christmas. Right, in all honesty, Raging Krogan, I know barely fuck all about the Merkavas in real life, other than I like them in Wargame Red Dragon. But yeah, I'm sure they're pretty competent tanks, aren't they? But again, I don't really know too much about them. Like, there's a lot of stuff like modern helicopters and tanks I'm not really like clued up on, I suppose, as well, because there's not been any wars where they've really been used. I suppose Merkavas probably get used, don't they, in like the Gaza Strip and stuff, but you know, I'm not too familiar with them. I know, like, obviously during a lot of the famous Israeli wars, they were using things like British Centurion tanks and like captured Soviet tanks. For the people who keep bringing up politics, don't bring up politics. We don't come. Well, I know we talk about Corona, but I really don't want to talk about radical Islam or anything as fucking tedious as that on this stream. Yeah, the Shums is my favourite Soviet mask. No, I have no interest in ham radio, in all honesty. All right, Rajiv. All right, cool, Alex. How many have you got? Or don't say if you think people will try and steal your beer. I've got a load of these coming, but my delivery of a big load of them hasn't turned up yet. Oh, that would make sense, Mystic Collector, because that was a military helmet at the time. If you're looking at that, that is a Chinese Type 75 Geiger counter inside its carry case. Rust on the Soviet mask. Well, in theory, if the paint doesn't wear off, you won't get rust on them. But for regular rust, just file it off very carefully. Oh, what, the M18 helmet flare-free? I've got two M18 helmets, but I don't think I've got them in this room. But yeah, the M18 is like the massive old style helmet, isn't it? I don't have the modern Swiss Kevlar helmet. And yeah, look what it's done that to my hair now. Fucking liner in it. But yeah, I don't have like the modern Kevlar steel, not Kevlar steel, Kevlar Swiss ones. But which particular Geiger counter got Nick Studio? Which particular one? I said that's a Chinese Type 75. If you mean that one, just search Chinese Geiger counter and you'll find a video on it. I can't remember the name because it's not a proper brand name. It's, you know, where they all come up with different names for them. Yeah, of course I'll do a 100k celebration video. That was in the combat vehicle helmet, Joe. Yeah, like I like a lot of the aircraft and combat like vehicle helmets, but sadly they never turn up for like sensible prices. If you had the proper filter materials to put inside it, Snowman White, I assume you could turn a like can of something into a filter. No, that was brought up earlier, but I haven't actually tried rhubarb and custard cider. I probably would try it, I've just never seen it for sale. Favourite Sarah Michelle Gellar. I just got that, Daniel. Favourite SMG, maybe the P90 or the Sterling, just because the Sterling's one of those like really cool open bolt designs. No, I don't own this. Oh, that's most of the point of them, Joshua, so your head is protected as much as possible from shrapnel. You basically have the line of the helmet where you can see, but you don't want it covering, you don't want a helmet like that, because then that's completely exposed, you don't want a helmet that sits like that on your head either. You want a helmet that sits like that. The Czech one, I've not got a video on it, I'm afraid, because I've never done it. I don't have one. Just for anybody asking me personal questions, I'm not going to answer them anymore, unfortunately, just because of all the weirdos I have to put up with on here now. They've ruined it for everybody, I'm afraid. And again, don't bring up political questions. There's lots of FP5 filters on eBay. But again, bear in mind FP5 filters aren't guaranteed to fit GOST masks, because it turns out some FP5 filters are GOST threaded, some are NATO threaded, as I showed in the video. Well, there wasn't a Halloween, was there, Heitzler? No, it was just literally no Halloween because of coronavirus. Yeah, Mike's video was very good, wasn't it, Flazzy, for Halloween? All the ghost stories of the VHS compilation. I'll have to watch all of it at some point when I've got like an afternoon to watch it in, when it's not, time I'm going to bed. Well, my favourite radar system, doesn't mean it's the best one, is the giant, Soviet woodpecker one, whatever they call it, Duga, the over the horizon radar, the one they had at Chernobyl, Duga 1 or Duga 2, whatever it was called. In the attic, Lewis, I've still got a CRT with a built-in VHS. Like, that was my childhood television that the PS1 was plugged into. And, you could tape movies off of it or watch VHS tapes. It was amazing. The Scorpion's like little Czech machine pistol thing, isn't it, got Nick? The Forgotten Weapons video on it makes it look very practical. But, I've never shot one myself because I'm in the UK. I can game or whatever, it's the same shit as usual, that the rules keep contradicting each other. Because basically, the new lockdown rules, schools and universities at the moment are still going to be going in, aren't they? Places like supermarkets and all that can stay open. retail stores for just general items, like restaurants, pubs, all those have to close. However, if you were, I think it's if you're doing, like you're saying, you can't meet other households, but if you're exercising, you can meet them outdoors, but not in their garden. Again, lots of these rules are silly. Yeah, Fuzzy, I think it's because it's a Corona-themed one, because my views always go up when there's Corona stuff in the news for some reason. Oh yeah, a substantial meal, Darnold, before that, which meant a pasty, didn't it? Or a slice of pizza. In the UK, amazing vids, at the moment, schools are still going to be open. The lockdown at the moment seems like it's going to be what the UK lockdown was just before the pubs and restaurants reopened, like back in August, like July, August time. Right, Daniel, I really can't recommend you backpacks. The only backpacks I've ever used and really liked was one I used when I was in Scotland, but I can't think of what brand it was. But it was like one of those really big Bergen type rucksacks. But the British Army brought out just a quality mark, basically a proof maker's quality mark thing, anonymous. So it's probably a glass bottle that was, manufactured for some sort of military use. Maybe when there's an effective vaccine against coronavirus, but at the moment it's basically end a lockdown, the cases start going up, the cases get too high, do a lockdown, rinse and repeat. Right, see you, Renarian. Thanks for joining up. I'll do a members stream tomorrow. Exactly, Fuzzy. This is the problem, isn't it? If people would wear their masks and wash their hands and respect other people's personal space, we wouldn't be in this problem. But oh wait, people can't do that, can they? So, everybody has to suffer because of the idiots. Apparently, there's a rave going on in Bristol that's been going on for like over a day now, and the riot police still haven't managed to break it up. Why they can't just use CS gas, I don't know. But yeah, it's strange. Gopnik Studios. Next, during the first wave, didn't the Czech Republic do one of the best jobs in Europe at containing it? But now apparently the Czech Republic is really suffering during the second wave. I mean, I don't know why, but I did hear that they did a really good job during the first wave when everybody else is doing badly. But now the Czech Republic's been absolutely wrecked by it in the second wave. Oh, tourists, is it? I suppose that would make sense. Yeah, S10 with red outsets is cool. I can hear fireworks as well. So someone somewhere outside is letting off fireworks for no reason. Brilliant. Yeah, track and trace. When I had that thing recently where I had to self-isolate until I got my test, the people I've been in contact with found out because I let them know, not that the track and trace app let them know. Luckily, it turned out that I was negative, but that's a really useful app, isn't it? When it can't tell people you've been in contact with that you've been in contact with them. Oh, he's back again. Oh, you're gonna raid me, are you? You're hard, man. You're gonna raid me. I think you're soft as shit, in all honesty. But cheers, Richard. Yeah, they've been trying to intimidate me by saying it over and over. They're just such sad sacks of shit. Yeah, but yes, Lewis, the track and trace app, as you say, is a massive pile of shit or pile of twonk, whatever word you want to use. What's all the stuff behind me? Random gas masks, Geiger counters, things like that. Over the course of several years, Julie. It's not from like a month or two. Depends what type of Geiger counter you want, Anonymous. What sort of features do you want it to have? If you just want one to tell you if there's radiation around, $30 to $50. If you want one that will give you a really, really good, like, sensitive range up into very high numbers, probably hundreds of pounds or dollars. No, I would not pay £850 for a deactivated MG, but, you know, up to you if you want to spend your money like that. The one I reviewed recently I liked is those NATO right-angle torches, you know, the ones that are shaped like that, where you can put the filters on them. I have, Luke, and I said it's pretty crap. Yeah, you can do that during the lockdown. It's basically that you just can't go out to, like, clubs, pubs, restaurants, gyms, things like that. That's a British Army vehicle-based radiation detector. It's not plugged in and running, but it can detect neutrons, which is why it's so big. Also, it can read dosimeter things. That's what the draw's for on the bottom. Reading the dosimeters you put in it. It's very big and bulky for the practicality of it. I wouldn't really recommend it. It also can't read background radiation. Yeah, yeah, Lewis, considering those price differences, I wouldn't bother. Britain went out of lockdown, now we're going back into one because the cases are too high. The thing is, I don't see how not going out at certain times will or won't stop a virus spreading. Because the curfews in the UK didn't work well, because when they did curfews for places closing, everywhere closed at the same time, and then everybody got on all the same public transport. You know, whereas if places could close whenever, people wouldn't all leave the bars at the same time. Well, Joe, if I could get a real Thompson for sensible money, yes. If it was loads and loads of money for a Deac Thompson, definitely not. Oh, yeah, exactly, Rajiv. That's part of the problem, isn't it? That all this does is cut down the R rate a bit. Which, again, I can understand the need for it if you're going to hit capacity. But again, lots of this is done because we don't have a good track and trace system. We don't have good planning. You know, we have no exit strategy. So it's basically like somebody slamming on the brakes or pulling a handbrake up because, you know, they're scared of what's coming up the road. Yeah, the bog roll was apparently all right today, Lewis, at the supermarkets, but we've got a bit of a reserve just in case anything goes wrong this time. Yeah, exactly. Senf, man, there's lots of stuff like that doesn't make any sense. Like, at certain times you can't buy products. Why? That's not going to stop the virus. The really strange one was in Wales, where they said you couldn't buy things like clothes or kettles in supermarkets because it was unfair on smaller shops that had to close. I assume they went backwards on that, did they? For anybody that's in Wales. But yeah, that was one of the weirdest ones of, you know, you can't buy a kettle in the supermarket because it's not an essential good. Ow, Lewis, that doesn't sound pleasant. Yeah, well, the thing is, clothing surely is essential. Like, half the stuff they were saying wasn't essential seemed pretty essential to me. Exactly, Lewis. Can't buy clothes for your young child, but you can buy alcohol for yourself. Yeah. Well, as I said, all they have to do is just literally get the stuff you'd normally need. Don't be silly. You'll be fine. But unfortunately, you know, the people panic buying toilet paper are probably the same people that want to go out without masks on, coughing in other people's faces because that's my right. I have no idea what you're on about, Snowman White. Oh yeah, I think the least costly way of getting coronavirus cases down would just be to enforce everybody wear decent quality masks, and I don't mean little cloth masks, I mean actual filtering respirators. But you know, oh no, I've got an exemption that means I don't have to wear a mask. What is it? Or I've got some anxiety disorder, I can't wear a mask. Like, don't get me wrong, there are probably a couple of scenarios where people really, you know, don't need to wear a mask. like, for proper medical reasons, but I get slightly panicky, I can't wear a mask. That's like one of the most awful reasons I've ever heard. It depends on the type of mask, Julie. You can get proper filtering masks, where all the air is forced through valves and filters. Like actual masks I would recommend. Have I got any behind me? Little half-face respirators? Probably not, but as in masks where the air is forced through a filter, because that will actually, do something. But yeah, I would agree. There's no point forcing people to wear masks that have no filtering capability. Yeah, I don't get it, Lewis. I really don't get why. Like, the thing is, I can understand for somebody with some severe mental learning difficulty why they maybe couldn't wear a mask, because, like how, I don't want to sound rude, but, kind of out of it they are. I could get that, but when it's just like, oh, I have a bit of anxiety and I can't wear a mask. So you want to not wear a mask, so then everybody pays attention to you when you have anxiety. That does not make sense. Exactly, Nerd Central. I'm Spurg, and I've also got asthma. I don't like wearing a little shitty cloth mask now and again where I have to wear them in places, but I'll do it because, it's doing my bit. But I'd rather wear a proper respirator, in all honesty, because it's cooler and gives you more protection. And you can't smell your breath with a proper mask on because the air's not getting trapped and going back up your nose. So the thing is, again, if you had some like severe kind of eczema, again, I could totally get it. I'm sure there are conditions where you would struggle to wear a mask. But the problem is most of the people claiming, oh, I've got a condition, I can't wear a mask, don't have any condition wrong with them in the UK. And in a lot of other Western countries, it's, oh, I don't want to do my bit. I suppose if you've got a face mask on, you've got anxiety, people aren't going to be looking at you and go, oh, why are you pouting? Why aren't you smiling? It'd have to be good enough masks, though, JJ. If everybody just wore cloth masks, it would cut it down a bit, but not much. Thank you, Spooky. It's that Swiss one again. I keep wanting to take it off now, but my hair's sticking up weirdly under it, and it looks stupid, so I'm just going to keep the helmet on now. See, I've yet to meet somebody with autism, though, in any of these comments or anywhere that says, I've got autism, I can't wear a mask. I've heard people on the radio say that. I wouldn't want a transparent mask, Lewis. That seems really weird to me, the idea of a transparent mask. I've not got a Russian Gorka suit, but I've got 2 Ukrainian Bars suits, and Bars suits are pretty similar to Gorka suits. Or where they don't think you've got a mask on, Stefan, and you go, oh, I've got a mask on, it's transparent. See, that's the thing, Tatchin Driver. You can have masks, can't you, with patterns on or designs you like. Because as long as the mask's a mask, it doesn't matter if it's got, a picture on, does it? If that makes the person wearing it happy or whatever. Like I've seen like kids with like masks on that have like tiger designs on or whatever else, or superhero designs, good on them. If that makes them want to wear the mask more and it's, a branded mask, who cares? Good on them. They're doing their bit, they're wearing a mask. Yeah, I can get that, Stefan, that people can lip read you on those masks on, but I suppose if it's all steamed up, they still can't. Yeah, exactly, Flazzy. That's my reason for liking a mask. If I'm at work and a customer's being rude to you, I can literally be having an expression on my face like this at them. But because they can only see your eyes, they can't tell you're scowling at them. So it's brilliant. I like having a mask on. Now, a Geiger counter won't protect you from corona. I have gone to shopping before with like way over the top CBRN gear on. Barely anybody makes a fuss about it now, though. Like when I first started doing it, when corona was a thing, there were people going, "Oh, look at that person, he's got a mask on," like that. But now nobody really cares, do they? Because, I mean, I think most people realise you're probably just helping yourself and other people if you've got a decent mask on. Yeah, see, as we were saying, Joshua, I've yet to meet anybody in one of these streams or anywhere that isn't just somebody phoning in LBC to whinge about masks that actually has some sort of condition where they can't wear a mask. There's a few people who said I've got a condition which makes wearing a mask difficult, but I still do it for the sake of everybody else. So good on them, you know. Yeah, I've had people take selfies of me before, Joe Mama, when I've done like charity fun run type things in like CBRN gear. But I don't think I had anybody wanting to take a selfie. I had a couple of weirdos taking like discreet pictures of me, you know, when I had a mask on when all the corona stuff started. But you know, fine. But take a picture, picture of me and put online. I don't care. You know, I'm wearing a mask to protect myself from fucking idiots like you. You know, that was the. Where's the thing, Daniel? Check my comments. Let me scroll up and see if it's shown up. I haven't seen a comment from you. It might have hidden it. Try posting your comment again, Daniel. But if you couldn't wear a mask, would you rather be challenged for evidence but have almost everyone else wearing a mask to help protect you? Do you rather never be challenged but be more? Is the other comment not shown? I don't know if it's not shown because of like YouTube hiding words. That's interesting, Seventh Man. The one I've got, I don't think it's called a Bars Gorka Free. The one I've got is definitely windproof. Like, I get too hot wearing it. Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I would rather have a proper system where the people who really couldn't wear masks could have some sort of official badge registration for it, and then everybody else had to wear masks with bigger fines. And I don't like saying that from kind of a liberty point of view, but it's just the amount of people that have been taking the piss of all this corona stuff. You know, oh, I have a condition, I can't wear a mask. Also, I'm going to cough on you, and I'm going to stand as close as possible to other people. Well, no, Flazzy, because they covered it up because, they've got to love the Chinese Communist Party. See, that's fine, Daniel. If she's actually got something like that, that's a legitimate thing, fair enough. But it's just the amount of people I've heard come up with weird excuses, you know. Probably 5 minutes, Radiac Maniac. Exactly, Eli. That's why I like reusable respirators, because, you know, you can reuse them and they offer better protection. Especially universities, Julie Entertainment. I'd say if like primary and secondary schools have proper spaced out rooms and everything, they wouldn't be too bad. But universities, it's like opening unis again was a disaster. Because what's happened in most of them, the students have been put under basically like house arrest. You know. Not really like an S10 style military mask, JJ. I've worn like full face panoramic masks outside, you know, which are like military and industrial, but hiccups. Well, they should open the windows. When I went to school, every classroom you could open the windows. I don't know what they're all like now, but even when it's coming into winter, you have to keep the windows open with corona. Oh no, somebody who has never subscribed to me in the first place has threatened me by saying he's unsubscribing. Fuck off then, goodbye. I don't know why I even bothered reading that out, but he said, I was subscribed, but unfortunately I've unsubscribed because you are a cretin. Cretin's an idiot for people who don't know. I assume he's got a thesaurus and makes himself think he's smart. I'd say Ford, dank boy, just because Chevys aren't really a thing in the UK, but we do get quite a few models of Ford. There are some Chevrolet cars, but I'd say Ford. Like the old Ford Mustangs and things are really cool, but they're not really sold over here. But oh, he's showing up again, has he? Is he made more than one account, or is he just was he not hidden the first time? All right, I see. Henry didn't actually block him the first time. He just deleted his message. My granddad, Julie, used to drive a Chevrolet Matisse, or whatever it was called, just as like a cheap automatic get-around town car when he still used to drive. But rainy and windy. So it's, UK in the autumn. I'm perfectly happy with weather like that because I can just put on a coat if I go outside. As I said, I've already told you, Radiac Maniac, hopefully. Again, I'm not psychic, am I? I don't know if people would scam me online, I can pay for something, but until I've got it, I've not got it, have I? I've got some live ones since there, Gavin, but I can't show them in streams, unfortunately, because of YouTube policy. You can watch videos on my channel about them, but YouTube doesn't let you handle firearms in the stream for some strange reason. That's a Nixie tube clock, if you're looking at that. It uses cold cathode display tubes, like vacuum tubes, to display numbers. You can get the fillers on places like eBay or Prepper Shop, but they're generally pretty expensive. Don't really want my own shop, though, Eli. I kind of like being impartial to talk about stuff. The closest I come to selling stuff is if I just now and again sell off a bit of surplus I've got. But I never actually, want to bulk buy and sell stuff because I kind of like being impartial. Do I like this item, yes or no? Oh, storage grease. I think you mean either Cosmoline or, the good old-fashioned gun grease they used to put on Enfields. Turpentine might work. No, Turp might work quite well. Like turpentine, that's good for cleaning greasy shit off like stuff. It's a good idea, Daniel, but sadly, that particular model you can't directly buy from places like AliExpress. Hypes had to send it to me. But yeah, that particular model, if you try to buy one yourself from AliExpress, they're massively marked up, so I wouldn't recommend it. That's cool, Stug. I assume it's deactivated. The idea of buying a live Panzerfaust is pretty funny, but, If you're asking what the hell is going on with the second lockdown, wow, it's starting Thursday this week in England, and it's meant to last until the 2nd of December, but they're not actually admitting that we might get out of it by then. So for all we know, it could be, like months and months of lockdown again, which is either good or bad, depending on, Yeah, Flazzy, for some reason, talking about coronavirus brings out the, those sort of people out the woodwork. Also, like I said, I've had weirdos threatening me today, but, oh, I'm going to raid you, I'm going to call the police on you. So either they're going to be dumb enough to try and break into here, which I really would not recommend anybody do for obvious reasons, or they're going to waste police time, which is a crime, by calling the police out on a false report about me, which would probably end them in serious shit. But I'm sure it's just little keyboard warriors, but, I just find it kind of funny when, you're just minding your business, chatting with people, and then, I'm going to raid you. Yeah, Daniel, especially because a lot of the time you are an idiot if you think it's real. That will convince people that I'm right. It's like, no, it's not. Like, the thing is, I can completely get the argument, as we said before, about people saying things like, I'm very worried about giving the government more emergency powers due to coronavirus because emergency powers are not easily relinquished. That I can totally get behind. But when it's, you're an idiot if you think the virus is real. So, oh, fuck off. They actually weren't. My granddad killed Nazis, man, but I think you're a cunt, in all honesty. There we go. Thanks, Radiac Maniac. He said, I think your grandparents are racist. Nah, people in World War II during Britain killed the fucking racists because they were called the Nazis. Same as the American people's grandparents or whatever, the French people's grandparents, the Russian and Polish grandparents fought against, one of the most evil racist regimes in history, but, Yeah, Spooky, but those people aren't very smart, are they? If I could get an LBM, I'd review it, but I think they're very expensive for what they are. What people asking would stop a 9mm? If you're on about Kevlar, Kevlar 3A would consistently stop 9mm for the most part. Kevlar level 2 wouldn't, as far as I'm aware. Exactly, Sempsy. That's a sensible attitude to take, isn't it? Like, stuff needs to be done about the virus, but I'm very skeptical about government emergency powers. But, you know, the issue is that some people just basically take it to the complete extreme of, I want to throw every single right away I've got to the government because protect me from a virus, I can't help myself. Or the opposite of, no, it's the 5G towers giving people the brain corona cancers, it's not real, it's the Illuminati, you know, that sort of shit. What losers got next year? If you're in your own garden, you're in your own garden. They can fuck off, can't they? Eli, if it were up to me, I'd have had much stricter mask wearing rules and social hygiene rules. As for lockdown, I'd have done it earlier for a shorter period, like the scientific advisors were doing. Because bear in mind, I am not a scientific advisor. I am a pleb, right? I'm a dumb person. I listen to the people who generally know the stuff. The problem is over here is the government tries not to listen to the scientists until it's too late, and then they have to overreact. The thing is, Myra don't make their own mask, Nugget. Myra just rebrand other people's masks. Most masks Myra sell it all right, but not for the money Myra wants for them. Most of them are just Czech military masks or Czech civil defense masks. Yeah, what we've got in the UK now, Ross, which I think is a good idea, is the powers have to be redebated by Parliament. I think it's every, 6 weeks or something. So basically, that's why there's already a lot of opposition to some of the rules, because although the government can enact them, they can't keep them in power without parliamentary approval. And even though the Tory government at the moment has a majority, lots and lots of MPs are very sceptical about it. So at the moment, thankfully, I think democracy is kind of doing its job, where although they can quickly put emergency measures in, they can't really keep them there. Weirdly, Robert, I'm getting a bunker, but this isn't a bunker. This is just a room filled with too much shit. But oh, exactly, John. I can definitely get your attitude of not trusting the government. I do Nugget, as I've said. When I go out, I've always got a half-face respirator on or a full-face respirator, because enough other people won't follow social distancing, hand washing, not coughing, spreading their germs everywhere. I'll wear a mask. If I look a bit silly, I look a bit silly, but I'm not going to get, corona. Because as I said, I've got asthma, I've got a couple of other underlying health conditions. I'm not going to take the chance of what would happen if I get the coofs. I'm hoping Trump wins, but I don't know. I've got a bet on Trump, so I hope Trump wins. Because if Trump wins, I'll get like 100 odd quid out of it. If Trump loses, I've lost a tenner, because of the odds against him. So I hope Trump wins. And also just because it'll be funny, 4 more years of the best president. Nobody does a president like him. And, Joe Biden, he's a bit creepy, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, but people said Trump was like 99% going to lose, didn't they, in 2016, and he fucking won it. So who knows? But yeah, well, that's the thing, Lewis. The odds are against Trump. That's why I bet on Trump. That might be a stupid thing, but I thought I'll bet £10 on Trump. If I lose it, it's not a load of money. If I win it, I get quite a bit of money towards the bunker. But all best wishes to the Orange Man, just because he's a good laugh. That's actually a bit more difficult, Thomas, just because of UK planning permission laws. I know you could say you could do it secretly, but ROC bunkers do keep coming up now and again. So as I've said, my plan is mostly just to buy one that exists, and then you might get planning permission to add more onto it. Like most of them, yeah, like we said, do sell. But the thing is, just when a listing comes up, the thing is you just buy it if you've got the money ready, and then it's yours. The issue just tends to be with ROC bunkers, that the ones you're looking at from years ago, they're listings that have been up for years, hence they've sold. Yep, Royal Observer Corps, as Tachion says to the people, didn't they? All right, Lewis, we'll see. But like I said, I hope he wins because, as much as he has done, I'd say, a bit of a bad job over COVID, for the most part, I like Trump and he doesn't hate this country. Where I think Biden was saying something, wasn't he, about like Britain can't do something with the EU. We're gonna have to punish Britain for that. Where Trump's going like, no deal with Europe. You gotta have we gotta be friends with Britain. Don't pry it off with violence. Get a flathead screwdriver nugget and try very carefully with a flathead screwdriver going around the outside. It might be that there's a bit of like horrible, nasty stuff inside that's caked it on. So if you get the flathead screwdriver and like try and go around it very slowly, prising it, you might get the gunge away and then it can come off and you can clean it properly. Too many retroware Austria, but probably 140 odd at this point because I've given quite a few away and sold a few recently, just to people who desperately needed masks. For the people who desperately needed masks for them and their families, especially if they were doing like emergency work, I was like, no, you have a free mask off of me. You can think that, JJ, but he's still a source of amusement. Anyway, I'll see everybody. It's been a good stream. My stomach hurts again because of ulcerative colitis, so I'm gonna go sit on the toilet and go but yeah, have a good evening. It's been a good stream. Tomorrow I will definitely do a members stream. So if you've signed up to be a member, and I can see a few of you in the chat, so good on you. Members only stream where the trolls don't come on because they have to pay to get on and they don't want to do that. So have a good evening, everybody, and yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good evening. Are you on Twitch tonight, Mike, or not on tonight? If he answers, he might have already gone. If not, I'll just Twitter him. But... Right then, I'll head off because I don't want to wait for Mike to respond. I'll just send him a Twitter message to find out. Right, bye all.